We invested so much time and energy into this kid. We did everything we could for him. We invested everything we had to give him the best life, the best Torah education, and to raise him up properly in the derech HaTorah. Now we have to watch our child go in the exact opposite direction, eating treif, being Michal Shabbos, being sexually active. Why us? Why did Hashem do this to us? I'm 1,000,000% sure that there are many people who do less mitzvahs and more averis, and yet they have more nachas from their kids. What is this a punishment for? It's very hard to live day by day thinking that this is a kapara, and all this pain is in preparation for Olam Haba. So this is a fatzara to parent that is just looking for some kind of a direction to deal with the pain that they have to deal with on a daily basis.
This is an alte Shaila. Moshe Rabbeinu asked the question. Adonenu David Melech Yisrael asked the question. Tzadik v'raloi u'rosha v'toivu. There's one answer. It's in Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbos. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbos say, B'froyach Rishoyim K'moi Eisef. We see parents that do nothing towards Yiddishkeit. And they have lechtige Kinder. Mamish, ironic, it's awkward. They have it. Vayotzitzu kol poyale over. Zukt David HaMelech said Odomarishin already. The Yishom lo madayat. Say this, against a good in them Welt, so what? It's a very short-lived world. Tzadik, katomor yifruch. So if someone has a son in California, he'll explain to you what it means tzadik, katomor yifruch. I spent a few days in California, I looked at that palm tree and I saw there's nothing to it. It says pustul leidik, it says tricken und nicht schön. And then all of a sudden you look up and you see the lush, beautiful, green lulovim. You see the dates. He says, I don't need to see it here. I don't want to see it here. This world is a meter. You feel it with a few quarters and you get a little time. We're looking towards Netzach Netzuchim. The crying, the efforts, the challenge, the oimed zayin b'nesoyah. They're just taking the right foot and putting it in front of the left and moving forward with all the nesoyah. That's Olam Haba. This is Olam Haba. My Reshiva of Kopman Zechatzarik Levrucha said, no one is punished with children off the derech, with children in pain. It's not a punishment. There's nothing you could have done that would be guilty enough to ask for such pain. And he continued and said, just like you can't explain all the good in your life and give reason for it, don't look to explain the bad in your life and take blame for it. Let's do it one more time. Just like you can't explain the reason for all the good in your life and take credit for it, so too, don't look to explain the bad in your life and take blame for it. It's a mission, it's a shlichus. And we're here to be mamala our shlichus ve'en choviv lifnei hamokim yoiser mishliach she'oiser shlichusoi u'moiser nafshei olel. There's no one greater to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and more beloved by Hashem than a shliach who does his shlichus with Mesiras Nefesh Kigoin sitting in this room. The liebshaft that the Eibush has to shluchim and the catastrophe that comes from taking blame, from feeling guilty. So nicht kein Yiddish Zach. How many slach lonas you find in Shmon Esrei? Just one. He's parked in Shmon Esrei, and when you finish Chalon HaMabel, it's loyach, it's geendik. What's the next bracha? Listen, Yiddish Amamis, what's the next bracha? Re'ei no ve'onyeinu ve'riva riveinu. But the shegit, you just said slach lono vinu kichotonu. Mechalonu ma'ke'adu b'stachoitu p'shea. Why ask Hashem re'einu ve'onyeinu? Because when we finish slach lono, it's over. Don't end it. And now we talk to an all-merciful HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Arachmo, Unabal Chesed, who's not looking to take revenge, who's not looking to punish us. And we're saying, Re'einu v'onyeinu v'riva reveinu, and rifa'einu, and borech oleinu, and tkabesh rifa godel l'cheinu seinu. Guilt is nishkin Yiddish shulach. Abel Hashem anachnu. What does Yosef say? V'ata al teyotzmu. V'al yichar be'einechem. Don't feel bad, don't take guilt. Why? Ki lemichya shlucha yelekim lefneichem. Sahim l'shazach. It's min hashemayim. Sometimes in life we have to start being a little more easy on ourselves, and we would be a lot healthier in all ways. Nicht sein beschäftigt mit the guilt. And what did I do that I needed this punishment, or why other people are not suffering? You join the VIP club of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If he entrusted you with that challenge and entrusted you with the fact that you'll continue to live and be there for this child and for everything else in life, it's a VIP. It's a choshev club to be in. And looking around, it's not anymore dvatorah to me. It's become a reality tonight. Ashrei Yom shekochol Ashrei Yom she'Hashem b'mikol. And like we said at the beginning, the tsar is kulei kvod shemayim. What's the pain? Kvod hashchina, kvod shemayim. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing, if I may. First of all, I'm so overwhelmed at this crowd. In my wildest dreams, I can't believe. I mean, if I were looking around and I would try to guess your jobs, I would say Koilel, Rosh Hashivas, Heiligen mentioned every one of you. It's an unbelievable crowd to be part of. But I want to share with you a story, two stories, to answer this question that you just asked. And that is as follows. In Brisk, there was a very, very wealthy fellow. And he gave a tremendous amount of tzedakah, Purim, everybody was by him. And then one year he lost. How could the Eibishter make that he should lose all this money? So they went to Rab Chaim Soloveitchik. Rab Chaim Soloveitchik in Brisk, and they said, this person who gave so much, how could Hashem do this to him? What's the pshat? Now, the teretz that he said is so incredible that I just want to tell you that it's in the Sefer L'Shichnei Siddur Shu. I had to read it 3 times. I couldn't believe Rab Chaim gave such a teretz. And this is the teretz that he said. He said, imagine if somebody sends their son to college. Like, how could you believe Rab Chaim's talking about college? But he said this one. He said, if a father sends his child to college, and he goes through a difficult course, a very difficult course, and he gets an A, the next semester he's got to go through another course. It has nothing to do with the first course. The fact that he got an A is not going to help him at all in the next course. He's got to take that course. It doesn't mean that the college is angry at him because they're making him start all over. It just means that's the course of life. And he said life is like a college semester, or like a college degree. A person goes through different nisyonos. He said this person went through the nisayon of Ashirus, and he passed it with flying colors. And now Hashem said, great, you got an A, but now you got another test. And now this semester, you're taking a different test, the test of Anius. It doesn't mean that Hashem is angry at him. This is how a person goes through life. And I think that every single person, every one of us here, that goes through something like this, it's not that Hashem is angry at you. Hashem wants to see how do you relate to Him in this difficult time. Now I want to tell you a story about a very choshev Rav who will remain unnamed, and maybe you'll figure it out. This Rav, who we all know, brought a girl who could not stop crying. Now the Rav usually doesn't see 15 or 17-year-old girls, but the father begged him, please talk to my daughter, she can't stop crying. And the girl came in and she asked this shayla to the Heilige Rav. And she said like this, 2 years ago I had cancer. And every single day I davened to Hashem. Every single day I davened to Hashem. I felt so close to Hashem when I was sick. And now I'm in remission. And I don't feel so close to Hashem anymore. Now, I want to feel close, but I don't want to get sick again. So why, what is wrong? I was sick, I felt close, and now that I got better. So the Rav and I happened to be speaking at this point, and he told me about this. And I told him, which I'm sure he'd said without my telling it to him, that every situation that we go through in life, Hashem wants to see how you relate to Him in that way. It's not that Hashem is angry at you. And as Rabbi EISENBERGER just mentioned, if somebody has a child at risk, or somebody has a child that's giving them tzoros, Hashem is testing us. That's what life is all about. That's what Golus is all about. We're all challenged. Every one of us. There's not one person in this room that's not challenged. And there's not one person in your shul that's not challenged. If you think that person has everything, that's only because you don't know what's going on in his life. So it's not that Hashem is angry at you. Hashem wants to see how you're going to act in this. You got an A last year in the semester by the good child, by the easy child. Let's see what you're going to do now. And that's what it is. A person should never give up. If a person gives up, that's the end. But if a person tries as much as they can, and it is an assignment, and we have to do everything within the power and what the Torah of the Torah allow us to do for the child, that's the test. We're being tested, how we relate. It's not that Hashem is angry at us. We've got to go through life and pass different tests. And Mitzvah Hashem, when this test is over, then there'll be another test. And that's how I think, that's how you have to look at it. And if you haven't figured out who the rabbi is, his name begins with an E.